We appreciate you coming out tonight. We are excited to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to educate yourself on the candidates and the issues prior to the November 4th election. Our community as a whole has such a great track record of keeping engaged on topics that impact us from the city to the county to the state to the federal level. And so thank you for all you do coming out on a beautiful fall night here. I'm kind of a civics nerd myself, so I always kind of think to the early founding fathers and them doing this, and here we are still today getting to know our candidates and getting to know about the issues. So thank you for coming out. You've probably heard me say it before, but as an organization, UPCCA, our mission statement is threefold. We're here to advocate, inform, and champion all things Peachtree Corners. And so tonight we're here to inform you as to the candidates, who they are, and give you a chance to get to know them. For over 20 years, UPCCA has brought you the Candidate Forum as one of our premier events. Tonight, you will have the opportunity to hear from incumbent representatives and their challengers. Tonight, we are pleased to have, starting to my right here, Congressman Rob Woodall. And save your applause, I got a lot of people to go through here, so we're going to applause for everybody right at the end. Congressman Rob Woodall, nominee Thomas Wight, State Senator Fran Millar, and nominee Tamara Johnson, State Representative Tom Rice, and nominee Amreeta Regmi, Gwinnett County Commission for District 2, Lynette Howard, and nominee Jay Trevari, and along with our, I would say world famous at this point, moderator Jim Blum. He's done events for us in the past and does a fantastic job, so he's going to keep us on track tonight. As I mentioned, we'll be taking written questions. We've communicated to the candidates. They each have a set period of time to answer a question and then respond. They'll also open up with a 2-minute introduction and a closing statement as well. Jim will walk us through sort of the rules of engagement here when he comes up for his portion. As I mentioned, we also have in the back there buckets for questions that are now up here now. So if you think of something, we've got note cards in the back. Write down a question that you may have, and we'll get them in the bucket. And really what Jim's doing is sorting those to weed out sort of the repeat questions so we get sort of the top ones that are on everyone's minds tonight. Just two quick more announcements, and then I'm going to hand it over to Mayor Mike Mason to give us an update on the city and what we like to call Mike's Minutes. First, upcoming UPCCA events. October 27th, next week, we got to do this again. We have our land use meeting, and this is a must-make land use meeting. Diana Wheeler with the city's Community Development Department is going to outline and sort of show the initial images of what that land across from the forum, the property across the forum, looks like. And so this is going to be sort of our first opportunity as a community to come together and give our input on sort of the first initial images and what that's going to look like. So if there's one land use meeting for you to make this year, that's a great one to be at. It's actually going to be at PCBC at 7:30. In the fellowship hall there. So October 27th, that's next Monday. November 17th, that's another Monday coming up. One of my favorite events, and one that you can't miss because there's going to be free food there. So if you like free food, and I know most everyone here probably does, this is the one to come to. This is the UPCCA, our second annual Community Star Awards. And this is one of my favorite because this is where we recognize the unsung heroes, the volunteers in our community that are working every single day to make Peachtree Corners special and unique. But just go unrecognized. And so this is the opportunity, the night, to recognize them. Over the last couple months, we've received a ton of nominations for great individuals. And that night, we're going to recognize those, and as well as those that were nominated, too. So come out for a great pasta dinner sponsored by Atlanta Bread. Get a good meal, meet some great people, and have a good time. So November 17th, make sure to have that on your calendar. And then finally, if you saw Amber Field's Christmas parade float last year, you know you want to come back and do it all over again. November 22nd, Christmas in the Corners parade got off to an amazing start last year. It's going to be another great parade this year. So come out November 22nd, Christmas in the Corners parade. I guarantee you that I'm probably going to get a nasty look from somebody. I've probably forgotten an event. But if I have, please go to upcca.org where you can sign up for our newsletter there and get all the latest updates on things ranging from the city to events going on in Peachtree Corners to issues on Simpsonwood, and we'll address that in a second here. But upcca.org, go and check that out. Also our Facebook page for all the latest updates. If you haven't done so already, like us on Facebook. I think we like when we're liked, so get on and check us out on Facebook. We're on Twitter, and we're very proud to say it's 2014. We're now on YouTube. So if you have a friend who couldn't come out tonight, we're actually recording the session. It'll be on YouTube, and you can go on and check it out and get educated about the candidates. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, UPCCA, no excuse not to connect with UPCCA. And then finally, if you're with an HOA and either your HOA hasn't joined or you're not getting the emails, reach out to your HOA representative. Make sure there's, sending those emails out to you if they're not, and make sure to get signed up to our email list. For those that are not members, I'll give our little pitch right now. We are an organization that represents 30-plus HOAs in Peachtree Corners, over 5,000 homeowners, been around for 20-plus years. So a great organization. We'd love to have you as a member. For current members, your renewal comes up in 2015. We'll be sending invoices out soon, so be on the lookout for that and pay early. Yes, or we'll come after you. I talked earlier about our mission statement to inform, advocate, and champion. Over the last 8 months, we've been very busy doing all three of those things on Simpsonwood. I think many of you have seen the newsletter that we issued last week on the sort of the latest updates. After months of sort of meeting with county and conference representatives to find a solution that was consistent with the city's 20-year comprehensive plan and UPCCA's statement that we want more green space for the community, we are pleased to learn that the county came out with an offer for the entire property. At the same time, we learned that the conference has private offers on the property, private offers that are higher than what the county has been able to offer. Mind you, private offers are taking in consideration, building development and things like that, where the county is more public passive park. The conference has also said that they may reject the county's most recent offer. So right now, UPCCA, we are working fervently with the city, the county, and public and private entities to come up with creative solutions to keep the property as green space. Simpsonwood truly is the crown jewel of Peachtree Corners. So two things. First, let me thank you personally for the hundreds of citizens that have reached out through email at the speakup@upcca.org and contacted the conference themselves. Your voice has been heard, and it is so important that you've reached out, and we thank you for that, and it does make a difference. Personally, again, I was just blown away by the response. Second, I know there is a lot of emotion around this topic, and this is certainly a complicated moral and ethical issue. But I just want to encourage everyone not to get angry or upset at the church. They have their own reasons and motivations. Personally, my own prayer is that God's will, be done with the property, and I think it will. But please know, your 10-member UPCCA board, we go to sleep every night thinking about what we can do to make Peachtree Corners a better place, and we wake up every single day thinking about what we can do to make it a better place. So we are working hard to find a solution for this community. Please continue to check in with us. Please continue to reach out to the conference themselves. We're going to continue to send you updates on action items that you can do. And just stay engaged. This process is going to take a lot longer than beyond October 25th when the church does go to a vote. Again, feel free to contact the board, ourselves, the members. Reach out to us directly. We want to be as transparent as possible in this process, and we want to hear your feedback directly. So any and all comments is well appreciated on the Simpsonwood issue. So with that, I'm going to introduce our fantastic mayor, a good friend of mine and a good friend of Peachtree Corners, to give an update on the city. Thanks, Mike.
There's some seating on the front, unless you're all Baptist. There's plenty of room up here. Good evening. Thank you all for coming. Like Scott, I've been involved in this for many years, and I love the candidate forums. They're a lot of fun, but it is going to be a full night, so I'll limit my comments just a couple of things. And Scott mentioned two of them. One, I cannot more strongly encourage you to come out to the October 27th land use meeting where we talk about the city's vision for the town center. I think, and I want to thank the council, publicly, all the council members. Laura Christopher's there, where Gratwick is there. Any other council members here? There's Gene Albach right there. So I want to thank everybody for coming and tonight. And please come to that. I think you'll enjoy it. Second, Simpsonwood. The article in the AJC on Sunday, I guess Saturday, was misleading to me. And I thought I read that the church had rejected the county's offer, period. But I, of course, made a bunch of phone calls, and the attorney for the church says, oh, no, absolutely not. We're certainly, eager to hear from the county, and I know the county is continuing to monitor this. I've had contact with those good folks, too. And I'd just like to publicly say tonight, I want to strongly encourage the church and the county to continue to work together. It's Saturday morning, and the attorney said he would have his cell phone on all the way to Athens. And although that sounds a little cavalier, sounds very, very generous on his behalf, I know the county has issues, and there's a budget, and there always are those. Last, please vote in our first city election. How many of you knew we were having voting right now? Okay, good. Do you know where the voting is being held? City Hall. Right. All cities in Gwinnett County vote at a separate location than where you would ordinarily vote. And I want to thank Kim Cherrick, our city clerk, for pulling this all together. But that's the way that works. The county doesn't do elections for cities. And it's important for this one. And, it is kind of odd that our first election would be a package store referendum, which I would, this has been an exciting ride. Starting a city, we're about ready to do it. Oh, by the way, the town hall on the Livable Cities Initiative is what date? Lori, do you know? November Gene, do you know? Does anybody remember? It's around her birthday. Okay, but it will be sometime in mid-December, December 11th, I want to think it is. And I want to encourage you all to do that. We're defining what our downtown is, and that's a very important opportunity. Regarding the surveys that we did for that, the consultant said they had never had a higher response to the online survey from any community, anywhere, and they've done tons of these studies, telling you just how engaged the community of Peachtree Corners is. So I encourage you all to go out and vote at City Hall, and that's all I have to say. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for members of the City Council who are in the audience tonight, and thank you for members of Planning and Zoning and other public officials that are here tonight. It is worth noting that we do have representatives from the Michelle Nunn campaign back there. Make sure to stop by and visit their table to get educated. And we also have representatives from the Richard Woods campaign as well. So make sure